Welcome back. You're watching the breaking news show right here on CNN News 18. We're actually taking you to a story that we are receiving right now. This is a story we're receiving from Hyderabad. Reports indicating that a child fell into an open drain and was swept away by raging floodwaters in Hyderabad. As you can see behind me, an FIR and a case under Section 174 CRPC has already been lodged. This was a 4-year-old boy who was washed away in a nala. This was in Bachupalli on Tuesday. Now, some reports are indicating that the boy was a resident of a NRI colony. He was playing near his house when he slipped and fell into the nala. The locals who noticed it tried to save him, but they failed as the water was flowing at a great speed. I'll wait for a reporter to join us to bring us more details about this entire story. Visuals, however, you can see of residents standing by around that nala area. Now, one set of information has said that the Bachupalli police did rush to the spot on inputs, and efforts were started to trace the body. The team of the fire department, the DRG, all arrived at the spot. The visuals you can see on your screen are of the nala in question. This was in the Pragati Nagar area in Bachupalli on Tuesday. And as we told you, this was being described as local officials as a rain-related incident. The boy's name reportedly, and again, this is unconfirmed. I'm going to wait for a reporter to join us to bring us more context already. The boy's name was Mithun, and he was a resident of the NRI colony. He was playing near his house when he slept and fell into that nala. Now, we are learning that locals did notice it when it took place. They tried to save him, but they failed, as we said earlier, because the water was flowing at a fast speed. Those are visuals of the nala in question. You can also see in those visuals, not in this moment, but yes, there you can see on your screens the locals standing by as rescue efforts were attempted. Now, my colleague Swastika is with us. Let's go to her to confirm these details. Swastika, tell us, we've told our audiences that a 4-year-old boy first fell into this nala. He slipped and fell, and rescue efforts were initiated. We're also learning that efforts to trace his body were initiated. We haven't been able to tell our audiences anything conclusive there. Can you bring us more context?
That's right. Well, Toya, right now, first things first, I am at the very spot where the child fell down, and the name of the child is Mithun. In fact, this is the same nala where the child slipped while he was trying to follow a relative of his. This was back then open, and let me tell you why was it open. According to the police's version, it is being suspected that the locals themselves removed the drain slab, but after speaking to residents here, we have ascertained that the rainwater gushing in such a full stream that the slab on itself came out, and this has been a persistent problem. This entire stretch of road now, it's very clear, but since yesterday it has been overflowing. We have seen videos shown to us by the residents where this entire stretch of road, it's built, this is a drain track in fact. And what you see here is essentially a nala. This entire road was flooded with gushing rainwater, and yesterday when that child had stepped out of his house, he's a 4-year-old child, he could not really understand the path and the drain that was left open. He fell into it, and then his body was unfortunately fished out from a nearby lake, from a nearby nala here in Nizampet itself. In fact, what we also need to understand is the chronic sequence of the problem. It's not just limited to that drain being left alone. What we have ascertained through residents is this entire nala is left open, and due to the overflowing water, one can't really ascertain whether this is a nala or which part of the road is actually a road. What residents have told us, and this is going to be a very serious case because the fact that on the other side, Venkatesh is getting you those visuals, is an open track. This entire portion is actually the portion where drain water flows in, and because of some lands being grabbed by these apartment complexes, there is no proper outflow of water. which is the reason why here the entire rainwater, Nala water comes gushing in through this very hole, leaving this entire road submerged. So it is very difficult. It's a chronic problem. In fact, yesterday a 4-year-old child lost his life, but the reality is something that residents themselves will explain in their own words. Sir, yesterday in fact a child died, but if you could explain to me what exactly is the problem here? Every time it rains, the entire road gets submerged.
Yes.
Where is this water coming from?
It's coming from the upper area, like there is a Pragati Nagar exit command there, and even the VJIT college is there. It is coming almost from 5-6 major roads.
So basically the passage of the Nala has been trapped by these apartments.
Correct. There has been 2 nalas actually. One has been completely closed. The other one is this one.
This one.
And even that, the floating, we have recently identified that the other ward people has destroyed a wall. Due to that water is also coming up.
So essentially the actual passage of the Nala water has been blocked by apartment complexes and by land grabbers, which is persistently the case across any place you go in Hyderabad in D&A. But what I want to know is, have you raised complaints with the civic authority?
We have raised several complaints. Even yesterday in the morning, we have, when the rain is coming heavily, we have sent the video to the respected concerned corporator.
Who is the authority? Who did you send it to?
Corporator, this 22nd ward corporator. As she was out of station yesterday, she has immediately sent out her officials. But due to this sudden thing,
Yesterday was absolutely tragic incident. You told me you have 17 children in this apartment. I can see children playing around. What needs to be done here?
And what we have been telling the people is, we have a park that way and we have a park this way. Nothing has been developed. If this park has been developed, right, at least people could have gone through the park and they could have played there. But that has even not there.
So basically there is no outflow of the water. The outflow is through this area.
If you say like 10 liters of water capacity has to be flowed, it is coming like 50 or 60 liters of water in this passage.
And that is a mixture of both rainwater and Nala water together.
That is only for rainwater only. The drainage water is a separate line altogether here.
This is a case of Toya rapid urbanization being done without proper planning. As per the residents here who bought in flats, this apartment came up about 3 to 4 years ago. They were completely unaware of the fact that this entire drainage track has not been properly constructed. Moreover, there is a Nala nearby. For the Nala water to outflow in its own pace, the entire passage has been blocked because of various apartment complexes. So yesterday the child dying was something that in fact was an extreme case of what this situation could throw up to. But every time it rains, residents say this entire area is flooded and they are left with no choice. Despite reaching out to civic authorities, there has been no proper redressal of their complaint, because the very spot of the Nala, where the Nala begins, entire area has been captured by these high-rising buildings that you see coming up in Hyderabad.
All right, Swastika, thank you, and thank you for bringing us that ground report. We'll continue to cover this story, as my colleague Swastika was highlighting. It is a particularly important civic story.